Why this country is always neutral and winning. When global conflicts erupt, one country always seems to sit it out. While others send troops, pick sides, or hold press conferences, Switzerland just shrugs, stays neutral, and somehow comes out ahead. But this isn't a fluke or laziness, it's a strategy. For centuries, Swiss neutrality has been one of the most effective geopolitical tools in the world. And it's paid off. Big time. In this video, we'll explore why Switzerland stays neutral, how it maintains independence in a world full of alliances, and why this tiny Alpine nation is quietly winning in nearly every category that matters. The origins of Swiss neutrality. Let's start with a bit of history. Switzerland's neutrality isn't a modern invention. It goes all the way back to 1815, when the Congress of Vienna officially recognized it as a permanently neutral state. This wasn't just about avoiding conflict. It was about creating a buffer of peace in the center of a volatile Europe. The country had already steered clear of major continental wars after Napoleon's defeat, and European powers realized that a neutral Switzerland could act as a stabilizing force. By staying out of alliances, Switzerland promised not to take part in military conflicts unless directly attacked. That neutrality became a core part of how Switzerland works, and over 2 centuries later, it's still going strong, regardless of what's happening beyond its borders. Neutrality doesn't mean isolation. One of the biggest myths about Swiss neutrality is that it equals political isolation. Nothing could be further from the truth. Switzerland is deeply engaged with the world. Geneva is home to over 200 international organizations, including major bodies like the United Nations, World Trade Organization, and Red Cross. The country hosts summits, mediates disputes, and plays a key role in global diplomacy. In trade, Switzerland is even more connected. It's not a member of the EU, but it has over 120 bilateral agreements that give it access to European markets. Swiss companies are global leaders in finance, pharmaceuticals, and high-end manufacturing. So no, Switzerland isn't hiding. It's just participating on its own terms, quietly, steadily, and with a reputation for reliability that few can match. A military that exists but doesn't invade. Now here's the twist most people don't expect. Switzerland has a military, and service is mandatory for most male citizens. Swiss citizens undergo basic training and remain part of the military reserve for years afterward. The country even has an army that's highly trained and well-equipped. But here's the key difference. It's built entirely for defense, not projection. There are no Swiss troops stationed abroad, no military bases overseas, no involvement in foreign wars. The military exists to protect Swiss sovereignty, and nothing more. This policy not only reinforces the nation's neutrality, but also gives citizens a sense of shared responsibility. Defense isn't outsourced. It's something many Swiss actively prepare for. And because the military is used sparingly and only for self-defense, it avoids much of the political controversy surrounding armed forces in other countries. Financial neutrality equals big business. Switzerland's neutral stance extends far beyond the battlefield. It's also financially neutral. And that's where the country really cashes in. Thanks to its reputation for political stability, confidentiality, and a reliable legal system, Switzerland has become one of the world's top financial centers. Zurich and Geneva are among the most respected banking cities globally. Swiss banks manage trillions of dollars in private and institutional assets. The Swiss franc is considered one of the world's strongest and safest currencies. In times of global turmoil, investors and governments alike move their money to Swiss accounts. This financial neutrality has made the country a haven for wealth, and that wealth helps Switzerland punch far above its weight on the global stage without ever firing a shot. Innovation through stability. Switzerland doesn't just store wealth, It creates it through cutting-edge innovation. The country consistently ranks among the top 5 on the Global Innovation Index thanks to its research universities, skilled labor force, and strong intellectual property laws. It's a global leader in pharmaceuticals, think Roche and Novartis, medical tech, precision instruments, and luxury goods. And let's not forget the Swiss watch industry, a symbol of engineering perfection and global status. So how does neutrality drive innovation? The answer is stability. When companies know they're operating in a stable, conflict-free, low-risk environment, they're more willing to invest in R&D and talent. Switzerland's calm political climate and long-term planning give businesses and inventors the freedom to focus on breakthroughs, not bureaucracy or geopolitics. Diplomacy as a brand. In today's chaotic world, diplomacy is often loud, tense, and filled with press briefings. But Switzerland has built a different brand, one of quiet authority. The Swiss are trusted mediators. When enemies won't meet, they meet in Geneva. When talks break down, they're restarted on Swiss soil. From Cold War tensions to modern nuclear negotiations, Switzerland has earned a reputation as the world's neutral ground. That kind of influence isn't built overnight. It's the result of decades of consistency, discretion, and deep-rooted trust. Neutrality isn't just about what Switzerland avoids, it's about what it enables: conversations, treaties, and peace deals that might never happen elsewhere. And in the age of rising global conflict, that role only becomes more important. Not joining the EU or NATO was intentional. Switzerland is surrounded by European Union and NATO members, but remains staunchly independent from both. This isn't oversight. It's deliberate policy. Joining the EU would mean accepting shared laws, regulations, and political obligations. That could compromise Swiss neutrality in future disputes. The same goes for NATO, where collective defense could draw Switzerland into conflicts beyond its borders. Instead, Switzerland has chosen a middle path: cooperation without membership. It has bilateral deals with the EU, participates in select NATO peacekeeping initiatives, and maintains deep economic ties without signing on the dotted line. This strategic independence gives Switzerland ultimate flexibility in policymaking. While other nations debate treaties and political blocs, Switzerland quietly does its own thing and thrives doing it. A culture of consensus and calm. Switzerland's neutrality isn't just policy, it's a reflection of its national character. Swiss politics are built around consensus. Instead of dramatic debates, you get careful, slow-moving policymaking. The country is run by a multi-party federal council rather than a single powerful leader. And changes are often made through direct democracy, with citizens voting in multiple referendums each year. And it's not just government. Even in daily life, there's a cultural emphasis on balance, order, and moderation. Public services are predictable. Cities are quiet and clean. Conflict, whether on the street or in parliament, is rare. There's no culture of political extremes. No headline-grabbing stunts. Instead, it's about steady governance and respect for process. And in a world that feels like it's always speeding up, Switzerland's slow and steady approach suddenly feels revolutionary. Neutrality as a long-term national asset. Most countries treat neutrality as an option. Switzerland treats it as an asset, a strategic one. Over generations, the Swiss have developed neutrality into a brand, a policy, and a cornerstone of their foreign and domestic success. And they're not shy about leveraging it. Neutrality allows the country to remain credible and impartial in nearly every global scenario. Whether mediating disputes, offering humanitarian aid, or partnering in research and trade, Switzerland is trusted because it's not seen as a threat or an opportunist. Even during international crises, Switzerland is often the go-to country for behind-the-scenes negotiations, emergency relief coordination, and legal safe harbor. And perhaps most impressive of all, Switzerland has managed to stay neutral without being passive. It participates, but carefully. It engages, but wisely. And in doing so, it demonstrates that sometimes the most powerful position is the one that doesn't take sides. So why is Switzerland always neutral and always winning? Because neutrality isn't weakness. It's strategy, it's trust, it's long-term thinking. From diplomacy to finance to innovation, Switzerland's neutrality gives it leverage in a world addicted to conflict. And while others speak loudly, this little country whispers, and the whole world listens. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.